Welcome to Math 1314 College Algebra. We're looking at the greatest common factor. So, looking here at question 1, we have an expression 49q cubed minus 28q squared. I'm looking for what's the most in common I could take out. So looking at the numbers, I've got a 49 and a 28. And I see that the most I could take out of these two numbers would be a 7. Well, if I take a 7 outside, what would go on the inside? Well, let's see. I would need 7 times 7 to give me the 49. 7 times a negative 4 to give me the minus 28. Now looking at the q's, let's see, what do I have here? I've got a q cubed. So that means I've got 3 q's there, and I've got 2 q's here. The most that these two items share in common would be 2 q's. That's why on the outside here is a q squared. Well, if I took 2 of them out, there's still 1 left in there. And if I took these 2 out, there's none left in there, but there's still the number. Now let's do the same thing on question 2 here. I have 15y to the 5th and a 15y to the 4th. Well, clearly the 15 is in common, so take it out. This one has 5 y's. This one has 4 y's. The most that they both have in common would be 4 of them. So take 4 of them out. It had 5, 1 left in there. And if I take these out, notice there's not an empty space. When you take them out, there's still a 1 sitting there. So don't lose track of that. You had 2 items to start with. There needs to be 2 items left on the inside. Question 3. All right, let's see. Got 2 items. All right, looking at my numbers, a 7 and a 21. Okay, so there's a 7 in common. There's a 1 here because 7 times 1 is the 7. There's a 3 there. 7 times 3 is the 21. Now I'm looking, I see 3 A's here, but this term doesn't have any A's. So there are no A's in common. This has 4 B's, this has 1 B. They at least share 1 B, so take it out. And if I took out 1 B, there's still 3 on the inside. And if I took this B out, there are no B's left in there, but there's still the 7 and the B on the outside. Now you can always check that you're right, because if you multiply this back together, you do have to get back what you started. All right, question 4. Same deal, except now things are bigger. I've got 3 terms. Let's look at the numbers. I've got a 6, a 21, and a 9. The biggest that's in common between all 3 of them is a 3. So there's my 3. 3 times the 2 is 6. 3 times a minus 7 is minus 21. And 3 times this minus 3 is a minus 9. What about A's? Let's see. Got 4 A's there, 3 A's there, 2 A's. So the most in common would be 2 A's. Let's see, I need 4 here, so I needed 2 of them there. I've got 2 A's, I need 3 A's, there's 1 A there. And if I took out 2 A's, well, these are gone. What about the B's? Let's see, I've got B3, B4, B5. The most they all share in common is 3 B's. All right, well, if I took it out, they're gone from there. There's 1 left there. And if I took 3 away from here, there's still 2 left in there. Question 5 changes things a little bit, but the same basic idea. I'm looking for something in common. Now in question 5, though, the thing in common is this big term that I've underlined in red. It's in common. So just like previously, I'm going to take it out. Here it is sitting in the front. And if I remove it, what's left is a 3z plus 2. All right, question 6 continues this. Looking at this, I say, okay, this 3t minus 5 is in common between both parts. So I'm going to take it out. Well, there it is sitting in the front. Now, when I take it out, remember there's no empty hole there. I had 2 items to start. I must have 2 items left. There's always this imaginary invisible one that's always sitting there. Question 7. All right, question 7, I've got w plus 3 squared. Oh, look, it's the same in both places, so take it out in the front. Now you always look to see, are you done yet? Could you factor something more? Well, look at these 2 terms, and I notice that between the 10 and the 6, there is a 2 in common, right? Because 2 times 5 is 10, 2 times 3 is 6. Now you can leave it like that, but just to make it show up easier, I just moved it out to the front. Doesn't change anything, just moved it out to the front. Question 8. Okay, question 8 gets harder. Now, if you look at this thing in 8, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. In math, especially algebra, when you have 4 terms, the basic idea is you must solve this by grouping. Well, how do you group things? Well, I'm going to pair it up. So you see I got 4 items, and I'm just going to group together 2 of them at a time. Now, there's no problem doing that in this first one because there is a plus tying things together. We're going to see that's a problem in the second example. But for now, I can pair things in this way, no problem. I then look to see for each pair, is there anything in common? Well, certainly a 5. No B's, no A's, but there is this one X I could take out. And what's left would be 2B minus 3A. Now looking at this piece, well, there is an A in common, no B's, so take the A out. There's also a 3 in common. But if I look at this now, this 2B minus 3A, this big thing right here, is in common. So take it out in the front, and what's left is 5x plus 3a. So just to repeat, anytime there are four terms, you're going to want to do something by grouping, two at a time. If they are tied in the middle by a plus, you have nothing to worry. In the second one, right here in the middle is a minus. See it? It's right here. You can put parentheses around the first two and there's nothing to do. But as soon as I see there's that minus and I put some parentheses, I have changed the problem. What do you mean change the problem? Well, let's see. If I take this minus in, okay, that is a minus 15, and we did have that. But you see, I've got to change this second sign because minus 9a squared is what I've got. And if I left a minus here, I'd have minus a minus, which would change it to a plus, which means I would have changed the problem. So, plus in the middle, no worries. Minus in the middle, you must adjust the second sign. All right, looking at each part, take out what's in common. Once I did that, this 5b plus 3a is in common, and take it out in the front. All right, question 9. Let's see. It says factor it by grouping because there are four terms. So let's see. There's good news right here. Connecting them is a plus. So I can pair them up. I simply look at each piece for anything in common. 2a's, 3a's, there's 2a's in common. There's a number in common here. And once I've done that, this a plus 2 is now in common. Take it out in the front. Question 10. All right, so again, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. The middle is a plus. Great news. No altering anything. Just pair them up. What's in common? Well, let's see. There is a 2 in common. There's one x in common. Here, let's see. No numbers in common, but there is a y in common. All right, and then I've got this x minus 4y in common, so take it out, and we're done. All right, question 11. Again, by grouping, let's see the middle. Got a plus. We're in good shape. Pair them up. Don't need to do anything. Look for numbers in common. Look for variables in common. Take them out. Then I've got this 7a minus 2 in common. Take it out. And we're done. Let's see, question 12 here. Again, grouping, let's see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. Yes, there is a plus in the middle. Okay, we're in good shape so far. So I pair them up. And I look at this and let's see. No numbers in common. A is not in common. X is not in common. Y is not in common. This doesn't look promising. And then looking at the second piece, well, the numbers can't do anything. No B's, no X's, no A's, no Y's in common, so we cannot factor this thing. All right, questions 13 and 14 are similar. We have an area of a rectangle. Okay, well, what do we remember about rectangles? Well, let's see. Rectangles have four sides. I've got a length and a width. Probably could have labeled them different. Oh, let's see. I'll fix it later. Long side should be length. This should be W. Doesn't matter, but irritates me seeing it. All right. So let's see. Width times length, got that. But they're telling me that here's my formula. Okay, so 2W plus W squared plus W. All right, looking at that and thinking about our greatest common factor, I see a W in common, so take it out. And so I'm matching this up. Area is W times L. Here's W. So therefore, this thing, this 2W plus 1, must be L. And in 14, we have the same deal. So let me draw my picture again. So here's my rectangle. I'll put the length on the long side, and here's W. All right, so looking at this, they're telling me now area is this. L is in common, but I know area is length times width. Here's L, so this thing must be W. All right, so that concludes our talk on section 2.3, greatest common factor.